Hello everyone, welcome back with me. I've got Andrew Alamango from Magna Zmien ahead of your open day on 16th October. So Andrew, I think for anyone out there, who doesn't really know what Magna Zmien is, what it does, can you just share with us a little bit?
Sure. Magna Zmien, the time machine, it's really interesting because we figured that the 20th century was actually, and is looked at in a very interesting way, because once technology became accessible to people and we started to have access maybe to a tape recorder or a VHS camera, or even our parents would have a cine camera, or there were records, there was open reel as well, all these analog, non-digital formats. Basically, once it came into the hands of the people, we started to document our own lives, which was really interesting because this became a document of how we lived in the past decades, in the 20th century. Documenting our personal histories, our summer holidays, political events, stuff off TV, stuff of the... So, you'd question, what would people record once the technology came into their hand? We forget that today we have mobile phones and we take pictures of everything. But back then, when technology was not so accessible, I think actually people were a bit more careful what they would film, what they would shoot, what they would, That's really interesting. So we came up with this idea in 2018 as part of it was proposed as a project as part of the Capital for Culture. And we proposed to offer a service to the public. So we set up a studio, a digitization studio, where we offer a digitization service for 6 formats. VHS film, Cine 8mm film, slides, photographs, cassettes, open reel, and records. So what we do is we offer people a digitization service, meaning that we appeal to the public for them to bring their family collections. So we're looking at family and individual personal collections, because this is not generally picked up by the national institutions. It's not within their remit and their responsibility. We realize that if these things don't get gathered, we are most likely to lose our memories and all of that which happened in the 20th century. Besides the fact that the content is really interesting in itself, I think we all have a bit of a nostalgia for that feeling of the film and that crackle on the record. No, we have a nostalgia, I think, for the 20th century, because now everything is digital and nothing is tangible. No.
True.
So, and we all, interestingly, have a box of photographs at home, maybe some slides, maybe some cassettes, maybe some audio reels, family stuff. And we're interested in that. So what we do is we offer a free digitization service to people where, on an act of trust and with a signed agreement, we digitize people's collections and then we give them everything back and a digital copy. Why? Because digitization is actually the only way today to preserve your memories and your family collections. Furthermore, most people who lost the access to the projector and the slide machine can now see the stuff again after 20, 30 years.
Okay.
Right? And you can share them with your children and your grandchildren. So we can share this content. And this is also about sharing, whether it's a donor giving us his personal photograph, his personal memory, his personal story. Now we can share people's stories. You see, we're not only interested in just gathering things which we will hoard, not at all. The idea is to share them, but to share them in ethical and in good ways and in creative ways. So there's another layer with Magna Zmien where we work with artists and musicians and researchers, and we engage with the public. So a major part of Magna Zmien is actually engagement with the archive. So we have a collection. Once people engage, it starts to become a community archive where if you propose to us interesting and valid projects, we're happy to engage. We're happy to provide access. We provide access to our social media, through our website. You can go into magnazmien.com and look at the different collections. But we also, we're interested in people's stories, you see, because the story backs up the artifact, backs up the image. And interestingly, what we're now learning, you see, this was started in 2017, 2018. 2 years on, we've established a foundation because we believe now that we're responsible for this content and we should carry it on into the future. But we're also learning now, as more and more collections have come our way now, that it's getting actually to be quite an interesting collection, how people in Malta are connected and how communities are connected, and that actually even though the Maltese migrated, if there's lots of stories of migrations, recording from migration, photographs of being overseas, in Australia, Canada, New York, people needed to stay in contact and therefore use these formats to stay in contact. They would send audio reels and have the whole family record messages to their cousins, because it was always important for us to be in touch, right? So I think this is very relevant today, both as a project in terms of realizing the connections within community, and that actually our personal, individual memories are important as much as our national history and the national narrative is important. Right, so we are documenting the people's story with a small p, you know, because your little family story is important on a national level and on a regional level.
Yeah, no, that's,
you see,
that's really interesting. Like, I think it's a really, you know, you're almost getting a snapshot right into people's lives, into people's past in a really intimate way. Is there anything you sort of maybe learned about Malta through it, right? You know, about
Maltese clearly. There's a lot in the collections by which show a way we lived, the way the place looked, you know, the way the land looked. Obviously, there are very stark differences if you look at footage from the 50s and 60s, but you also realize that there were other issues, you know, which aren't there today. So it starts to give you a bit of a perspective. It's not only about nostalgia and saying, things were so beautiful and better. Or no, people had other issues, you know, and this becomes evident through the footage. It's also, I think this is why we call it a time machine, because looking at the past and the present, through these memories and realizing that we need to forge a future together, you know, rather than be individuals and actually contribute to our collective memories, because that is what makes us strong as a people. Not only on a political identity and saying we are really people of which have similar lives with people of the region and elsewhere. I think if anything today the internet should show you that through sharing we can actually get a bit closer, no, rather than divided.
Yeah, and I guess it's almost that cliche, right? Like using the past to sort of help you learn about the future, right? You know, as in
but these are creating important references, you know. So there is material which is interesting on an academic level, on an anthropological, ethnological. Plus, we're generating cool digital content, you know. There's music, there's videos. You actually learn that the Maltese used to sing a lot. On all of these tapes and messages, people would sing because they felt the need to sing when they needed to express their emotion. Not only Anna. Really, this is
amazing.
So it's audio and vision. Clearly, vision is always more captivating, you know. The eye, we all love photographs, we all love films, you know. But I encourage people to go into the website and have a look at that. Now we're also, as an organization, we've only recently, we are sponsored, supported by the Arts Council Malta. We have the Investment for Cultural Organizations, so we have a 3-year fund to operate. We are also now in the supported by the Valletta Design Cluster. We have a studio there. People can come and see us there and see what we do, and even drop off the collections. And now we're also getting into setting up a web shop in agreement with the content owners. We're looking at publications, we're looking at doing exhibitions and a series of talks for the future. I think our collaboration with the Valletta Design Cluster is very important, because we now have a physical location where we can not only operate, but also there are facilities for the public and for us to use. So we're proposing this open day on the 16th of October at the Design Cluster, where we're taking this as an opportunity to showcase stuff from the past and collaborations we've had. So there's video collages, there's sound collages, there's selected images on slideshows, some photographs, and a number of talks by interesting people who have collaborated and engaged with the archive over the years, and are even now actively researching or using content. For example, we have another project coming up in November, which is Ziguzaik. We're collaborating with Alex Urso from Italy and 2 sound artists from Malta, Yasmin Komisakis and Jess Rima, with the content. So we want to generate more awareness of what we're doing and why people should get involved and how they can get involved. Showcase the stuff, the creative and cool stuff that we have, and also have perspectives by people who have engaged with us. So we have Justine Balsandamai was talking about community creation because she has been working with us. Timothy Garrett is talking about how he processes sounds in his sound installations as an electronic artist. We have Vincent Lungro who's talking about the films from the Multicina Circle, established 1959, so we're now digitizing those films. We have John Borch, who's got his father's collection from Calcara, and some other things. So there's, it's really interesting. We'd like people to come and discuss with us what the value of this content is, and
Oh, wow, it's actually like the open day sounds really fun.
As you can see, I have a lot to say.
No, but there's a lot to talk about. No, I think it's really amazing. So like the open day, really, I mean, it's for everyone, no?
It's
like,
for everyone.
whether you're...
there are kind of social restrictions, the COVID restrictions in terms of limitations of numbers. I think the space can take up to 50 seats, for example, for a presentation. But during the day, all the video collages and stuff is showcasing throughout the day, so you can visit at any time and there's something going on. It's the first, and I think it will start off a series of presentations, like monthly activities in the design cluster, with different people involved, from filmmakers to musicians, and really, there's so many ways this can go.
No, I think I'm looking forward. I think everyone out there is looking forward to it as well. Just a reminder, it's on Saturday, 16th October at the Valletta Design Cluster. Not only is it going to be like a really interesting open day, but if you've got some amazing photos at home, memorabilia you've always wanted to sort of digitize into the future, you know where to go. They're amazing at it, and make sure to check out their website.
Can I say something else?
Yes, of course.
Yes, this is it. I think it's good to check out the website to have a good idea of what we do and how we do it, what you can do if you have a collection and if you'd like to donate, and also how you can engage, how you can add information or stories and all of this. I think the website is the place to go. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for joining us, Andrew, and for the rest of us, have an evening full of love.